But today I've been asked to speak here on the challenges facing our society, which include the massive poverty and suffering of our people, the crime that confronts our communities, which is partnered by abuse of drugs and alcohol, as well as to speak on challenges of unemployment and landlessness. Bishop, we call upon the church to join the EFF in the call to ban the advertisement of alcohol. Because this advertisement of alcohol makes alcohol look cool, when in fact alcohol is a devil in our society. These challenges are part of what the church has fought against in Africa since the former liberation movement, and at all times, when the native people stand up against injustice, the church has been a pillar of hope and a shield for the defenseless and homeless masses of our people. The church was a sanctuary for the liberation heroes who fought against apartheid. The church was a source of strength for our mothers and fathers who were stripped of their dignity by the cruel regime, and many a times when liberation movements were banned and suppressed, the church was the only tool to oppose the cruel regime of Pretoria. It will therefore be unfair for me to come on this platform and speak as if it is only politics that can resolve the moral and ethical challenges facing our society. South Africa is in a state of darkness and despair, and it is now more than ever that South Africa needs the church to shine the light on it. As a country, we have turned our back on our faith, and as a result, the evils of crime, gender-based violence, and murder have become normal occurrences. This is because a nation without strong faith is a lost nation. We have forgotten the role of the church in defeating the evil of apartheid, the role of pastors who prayed for our soldiers in exile, and because of that, we have been unable to build a sustainable democracy, because after faith saved us from apartheid, we left faith at the gates of 1994. So my task here is to call on the church to bring faith back into the picket lines, because the children of God need it. I'm here to ask the St. Paul African Apostolic Church to join me and my comrades in the picket lines, because the challenges of teenage pregnancy, of robbery and gangsterism here in Soweto will never be defeated without faith. The hunger of our people, the collapse of our schools and clinics, hospitals, needs a strong unity between faith and politics. And I'm here presenting myself as your son and asking the church to join us in the picket lines. We need you, and your nation needs you. We cannot be a society that is proud of violence against women and children. South Africa has become a capital of rape in the whole world. When we traveled the world in the past, Comrade Sello, when we said to the people we come from South Africa, they always ask us, oh, you are from where Nelson Mandela comes from. But today, when you say you are from South Africa, they say you come from a country where you rape women and you abuse women. That is the image we have in the whole of the world today. Because here in South Africa, women are being murdered like flies. We must make sure that for us to survive, we need to protect our women. We need to protect our children. We need to make the streets of Soweto safe again. If you want to know what is the important role of women in building society, Lebella Fela Ma Bishop, without her, this church will not be what it is. You can see that behind our bishop, there is a strong woman. Because of her strength, her husband is able to achieve a lot of things. But if this husband did not have a supportive wife, and a wife who is abused and violated by a husband, this husband will not achieve all of the things you are speaking about. It is so because she kneels down and prays for him, pray for the family, and pray for all of us. Because of your prayers, Mama, Today, Papa goes around creating jobs in a country where a lot of people are unemployed. There are no jobs in South Africa. The official unemployment stance is at 32.1%. Our people are not working. When we are told jobs are created, it's something called EPWP. People pretending to create jobs when those jobs are temporary and do not even have pension funds. We want real jobs that are being created by our bishop. We want the youth of South Africa to work because 3.5 million of the youth are unemployed in South Africa. But we know that through capable men like our bishop who invest not only in faith but in the growth of our economy, one day our country will know the real growth through employment. We want to say to the bishop, don't be discouraged by so many things that get to be said about our country and about black people. What we know is that the future looks bright. Today, Donald Trump and them speak very bad of us. Not because we did anything wrong, but really re kopa lefase le kgutlele ko beng ba lona ba re le batla o etsang ka lefase ra re batla o aga dikereke ba re why le batla o aga dikereke ra re na le more shebins than churches. That's why we've got a problem in our society. We need more churches than shebins. So today we are being threatened with sanctions because we said let's expropriate land without compensation and give it to our people and give it to the church. And West Bishop, you understand the importance of the land. That's why you are involved in agriculture and giving tractors to our people to work the land. Next time they ask me, what do you want to do with the land? I will say, just look at what my bishop is doing with the land. And that's exactly what we want to do with the land. You can be guaranteed, fellow South Africans, I will never be bullied by Elon Musk or Donald Trump. Because I've never done any crime to anyone. Yesterday, I was in an auction in Rustenburg of Peter Detroit. In that auction, 95% of those people were white people. I sat with them from 11 o'clock until 6 in the evening, wanting to demonstrate to Elon Musk and Donald Trump that I'm with the people you are saying I want to kill. Why would I sit with these white people if I want to kill them? Why do you make me an international criminal for asking for dignity of black people? I've not committed any crime against anyone except to say, let's restore the dignity of black person. If you don't have the land, you will never have dignity. And I was saying to those white people yesterday, you are not going anywhere because it's nicer in South Africa. There is no any other place which is more nicer than South Africa where black and white can coexist without problems. The only thing you need to change is your hearts. You must learn to share and share the land with the rest of other people. We might look like we are a nation that is in a racist conflict. That is, we are not in a racist conflict. We are in a robust engagement as people who were excluded from the economy of South Africa. And that robustness might look like it's violence against a particular nation. It is not. It is our cry to have our dignity back. The same way we cry for the dignity of the children of Palestine. We will never be bullied that we must not speak against the brutality of Israel against Palestine. Why? When the children were being killed here in Soweto, it was Palestinians who stood up and said that is crime against humanity. Today, the whole nation is being wiped off in front of our eyes. We are being told to keep quiet, otherwise we are going to be declared international criminal. I'm so happy to be an international criminal. You know why? Because Nelson Mandela was an international criminal. That's what they declared him, for fighting for the freedom of our people. And if it means I'm joining in the ranks of Nelson Mandela by being declared an international criminal for fighting for the rights of my people, I'm a proud international criminal. Moruti rapelelang bana ba rena ku DRC. Ba bolaiwa. We are not refusing our soldiers to go to DRC. We are simply saying withdraw them because we are not ready to go anywhere. Once we have prepared ourselves enough, we can go to DRC. When you send soldiers without arms to a war zone, you are actually sending farm workers to a war zone. Because what differentiates a soldier from a farm worker is because a soldier is armed. Our soldiers are not armed. There's no equipment in South Africa which can fight anyone. There are 2 helicopters in eastern DRC where our soldiers were killed. The last time they flew, it was when they were landing in DRC. From there, they were never serviced. There is no single fighter jet in South Africa today. We used to have a Roy Falk, one of the most sophisticated fighting machine. Today, there is no single one left. Why? They are not being serviced. Those soldiers ran out of bullets, and they sent a message to South Africa to supply more. But because South Africa has got no capacity, couldn't give those soldiers more ammunition. Those soldiers did not have drones. Why do you fight a war like you are fighting during the time of Shaka Zulu? Because there are drones now which you can send to the other side to see if the other side is advancing towards you so that you can prepare yourself. Our soldiers never had that capacity. They just woke up, the enemy was in their camp. There was no intelligence that was provided to our soldiers that the enemy is coming closer. After 14 soldiers were killed, we said, bring them back home. They did not bring them back home. They sent more 800 soldiers. But the ones that are remaining in DRC, they are no longer in a camp, Murut, Bishop. They are not in a camp. They are being held hostage. Yes, for them to go to a toilet, they must get a permission from M23. For them to get water, they must ask from M23. So why do you keep on saying, send soldiers, we are for Africa? I'm for Africa, but I will not send people that are not prepared for war because I'm sending them for slaughter. So Bishop, please, rappella bana ba rena ba be safe in DRC until this government comes back to its senses. Bring them back home. Let's invest in the army. Let's buy more ammunition. Let's train more soldiers. When we are prepared, send them to DRC to go and defend the democracy of DRC. So you are nothing as a country if you don't have an army. China is investing in the army. America is investing in the army. We are investing in corruption. That's the difference between us and other developing nations. We have to fight corruption wherever it raises its ugly head. This youth in this church is unemployed. Mara mesebetsi ya tswa mo masipaleng wa Johannesburg. Ba fana ka difane. Ba fana ka di-surname. And even if you are exhausted, the whole family by family mesebetsi ka ofela yon. Ba ya ba exhausted. Ba bitsa le ba ba beng khole. Ore kaba dengeno ko bana mushumo ga fa dageno. When there are so many children who are unemployed here, who must be given jobs here, we are going to make sure that we bring prayer back into our school to instill discipline amongst our children and for our children to fear God. I want to conclude by saying, Muruti, you must not be worried about the negative things that get to be said about you. Because how do you there will always be people who speak bad about you. There will always be people who speak bad about this family. I'm not shocked when you say, Mama, the brothers and family of the pastor left him. I lost my brothers now, turned against me. And I never looked back. I've never, not even once, doubted myself when my brothers turned against me. It is not for the first time that the brothers turn against each other. It's there in the Bible. It doesn't start with them. So why should I be a crybaby when they turn against me? You must be rest assured, Murud. Now I'm a living survivor. Now I'm one example. Mo unona lebroto ke o shetse mashaledi. Ke na mashaledi. Some reject which was written off and said he is buried. People even wrote books about me and said, this boy is done, like they are doing now. But they don't know my faith. They don't know my God. They don't know my ancestors. And I will never be destroyed by that which has never built me. I will never be intimidated by that which has never disciplined me when I was a child.
Matsela Ralewa Juju Matsela Hunale Mayemo. Oh, Matsela Recuparo Feltason, that Juju Raleboa. Guys, like I said,